How's it going, folks? And you're welcome to the Motorcycle Hour podcast, where we're talking all things motorcycling. Quick shout out to some of our sponsors. Principal Insurance Ireland. Having the right insurance matters, especially when you're on two wheels. That's why Principal Insurance, part of Howden, offers motorcycle cover you can rely on, whether it's a weekend spin or everyday riding. Howden Insurance Ireland Limited, trading as Principal Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Terence Healy Motorcycles, Unit 1A, Access Business Park, Tullamore, County Offaly, your main Honda dealer for the Midlands. And of course, motorcycletraining.ie, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle training needs. Whether you're booking IBT or some pre-test lessons, Tony's got you covered, so give him a shout today. And we are back. Episode 94, coming at you from an absolute sweatbox that is the Clonagale recording studio. It's currently, I think, around 874 degrees. It's Thursday even. I'm just after having a very, very interesting conversation with this week's guest, which is none other than the road racing legend that is Marcus Simpson. Had a great chat with him, so we're going to bring you that interview very, very shortly. But before any of that, shout out time. We have, as joined in studio, the Mr. Squirrel himself, the one and only Ross McQuaid's here. Any nuts?
No,
He's nuts.
Yeah.
No? How are you, Buck?
I've been after losing about 6 stone in 12 minutes there in the sweat.
Yeah, I won't do you any harm.
Yeah.
How's all the tyres going?
Well, an awful lot better than they were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How much money do you reckon you have spent on tyres in the past 2 weeks?
Including the van ones?
Yeah.
150, about €600.
There you go. Tyres. Not with that, is there?
But she's after getting about 15
Mark,
years,
you don't
15
exist
years
yet.
over it.
Mark, you don't exist yet.
You have to wait.
You have to wait. And that is, of course, the fucking off you're over. Mark Dunn.
Oh, Mark's here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, lads.
How are you getting on, Buck?
Lads, I am absolutely sweating.
It is.
I can see the reflection bouncing off that chrome down.
Oh, lads.
Yeah.
It is serious in here.
Thank God I didn't have to do a video call with Mark Simpson. Because,
That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, he would have just been like, who's this muck's obviously?
This
What's
looks,
going on with
this looks,
lad?
yeah, this
Why
looks
is he painted that t-shirt on?
Yeah, this is a predator. Like, what's going
Or
on?
why is he have no clothes on?
I have a t-shirt on with nothing
else.
underneath, ladies. That's just the way it is. And of course, last but by absolutely no means least, because fastly becoming a regular on the show, is my favourite of all of them, the one and only, Ger Mangan. All right, Ger.
The hard and the wild. How are you, lads?
How are you getting on, man?
Good,
I'm
good.
liking your t-shirt, man. AS Cafe Reunion 2023. The AS Cafe in London. Was there one for everybody in the audience?
I'm now one of the boys. You have to go over and get it.
You have to go over and get. Oh, is that the way it works? You can't be
No,
gifted it. All right, okay. Well, that makes sense. You're going to tell us about your interesting trip over to London now shortly. You had a nice little old spin over there.
I will if I survive the sweatbox here.
It's warm, but it's
I wouldn't hold out hope now.
Well, listen, I'd say this is what Guantanamo Bay feels like.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
It's not about.
Only not as severe.
Yeah. Well, got your Guantanamo Bay is not
The
as
bays in
severe.
Guantanamo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They have
The
aircon,
bays in
at least.
Guantanamo would be sounder.
Yeah. And like, we're doing this, like, you know, and no one's making us do it.
No, exactly, man. 100%.
Which
We're
is a
doing
big
this
difference,
from our
like.
own chase. Like, we could be sitting out in our gardens now, drinking a nice cold beer, just relaxing, maybe in the hot tub. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sure, come back.
Mom, log on to the hot tub, guys. No, honest to God. But see, that's just the love. That's the love we have for the listeners.
Yeah.
You just want to know an interesting fact, boys?
Hit me.
Today marks 2 years exactly since we started the podcast.
No way.
Hey, plenty of new faces here as well.
2 years.
Time flies when you're having fun, lads.
It's been a road.
I wouldn't say fun now.
Well, look, it's part of the world. We got to meet some good people.
Progression. And look, listen.
We got to meet a lot of not so good people. But that's just the way it works.
Yeah, but no, think
Little-
of, like, your lives have been lightened up with the presence of an awfully man here now. You know?
That was the
And it was a good 2
you go.
years, lads, but this is our final episode.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up after that.
No.
Boys, before we go on with any more, as Bertie Hearn says, waffling. You're a waffler. Before we go on with any more of that, Kel's road races.
That's class.
My God.
It did not disappoint by any stretch of the imagination. We had it all kind of built up in our heads, and I suppose we were all nervous thinking, is it going to be as good as you thought it was years ago? But I think that went out the window. I think it excelled 1,000,000% over what any one of us thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Here.
Like the lads themselves, all I can say is the Kells, the road racing fraternity down there, lads, take a bow. That's how it should be done.
It was class, man. Start to finish, like I have to say, we'd be watching Kells, and is it Dermo Corcoran? Dermot Corcoran?
Yeah.
He'd just be on it, and he's keeping us updated. And you'd know by him. Now, the man's had it tough, like, in the past couple of years, trying to get it up. Not simple. Right. And, it definitely felt from, and him and all the committee. It's,
it's a thankless job.
It's a thankless job. The odds were stacked against him, and you could see the emotion in him when he was talking about
but you could even see it, Brendan, even with the last race, the big race, and everything had gone off like to an absolute T. Best thing about it, no mishaps for anybody, but you could even just see the relief on everybody's faces around the place. The last race was there, it went off without a T. Absolutely fantastic racing. Like Mr. Keys, in fairness, another man we all should take a bow to.
Absolutely.
In fairness to him.
Absolutely.
But you could just see the delight in all the marshals' faces. Anyone that was involved in the actual organising of it. We worked our way back to the paddock. We were up looking at the celebrations at the end of the race, and sure, look, it's a credit to everybody who's involved.
I have to say, like, and it's just something I've mentioned, hear me mention as I was talking to Marcus there, but it was unusual for me in the fact that I've obviously done a little bit of motocross racing, and I've done a load of the short circuits and road racing and everything in between. But the atmosphere when the lads were being presented with the trophies in the last race was like something you'd see. It was like a club championship final.
County final.
It was electric. And in fairness,
brilliant.
But in fairness to the boys, Marcus, our own local hero, like anyone that was involved, it was brilliant. They played up to the crowd. They got everybody going. Yeah. It was fantastic. You could see all the teams merging together. Everyone's home. Everyone's has the crack.
When Kevin was coming around the last corner, he clinched the third dark core boys that were waiting to run out to him.
I went down to that when he got when he won in the 600. I went down and Keith literally I never seen a man stop. I was delighted for obviously Kevin, but the dark core lads have put
heart and soul into it.
And I was just delighted.
It was some battle though.
I
think fair play to him though for taking our advice. We obviously met him before the race and we gave him a few pointers.
Well, I told him straight out, I said, Kevin, just go flat out.
Just go flat out.
No, did you? Yeah. I don't know. You said a few other things though. Look, Kevin, when I'm chatting to you myself now, Brendan had a few pointers for you.
I said,
all farce in Cal's corner, like giddy kids. We were just going.
Oh, sure, ridiculous.
It was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. I was up at the jumps at one stage. Holy jazz, man! It was.
I should have heard it stand back here now.
It would. It was.
But then I suppose we have to talk about the bowled Mick O'Sweeney. In fairness, lads. Superman. Now I tell you, I don't know. The man is an absolute talent.
There was no catching him on the 1,000.
No catching Mick O. He, in fairness, he gave a masterclass. In road racing.
I was watching him at the village corner and he took millimetre precision. He took the same line, and I mean the exact
he was
same
more he
line.
looked like to me like his braking was absolutely unbelievable, but his cornering, he reminded me more of nearly like a short circuit rider. He was pinned. I'd say he could have put a 10-cent coin down on the same section of track and he would have hit it 8 times out of 8 every time. And whoever set his bike up, hats off to you. I can assure you, I have never heard a bike and seen a bike to be able to accelerate out corners, all the traction control, everything working as one. The bike was absolutely on fire, in fairness to him. Plus him. So, in fairness, Mick, like he's a long time on the go. And look, I suppose he's the benchmark down around this side of the world, really. God, in fairness to him. Sure, to be able to do what he does and still, have the crack and be a normal fella with everybody else and have a laugh, like as we seen on the grid and afterwards and everything. And such a close knit community with everybody as well, which is it's fantastic to see that, isn't it?
I'm delighted for Susan Plunkett, the clerk of the course. She put in some effort, and it really, you could see it there all day. Unreal.
It was absolutely unbelievable. It was.
Fair play to the crowd as well. Like there was no mess acting. Everybody was keeping everything tidy. There was no.
No, the place was looked at. It was great to see it once as we were up at the jumps at the person's house there. everyone bringing the rubbish with them, and actively like parents saying to kids, bring that with you.
Don't
leave
drop
that.
anything.
Everybody deserves a round of applause on that.
100%.
Well, look, it's all down to, I suppose, as we were saying, like it's the love of the sport, lads.
And the Super Twins, you know.
Oh my God!
Like Jays, they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had my head blown. Remember where we were on the right hand pan. Jesus Christ!
And it's just like it's elbow to elbow wrestling.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and it's slipstreaming, it's outbreaking, it's everything, because so many of the machines are so close with everything set up. Like, they're just fantastic. Now I know it was the class to bring cheap racing. Now we know that has evaporated and gone.
That was
but like, in fairness, like anybody who's involved in it is fantastic.
Even the classic racing boys, that was tight, wasn't it?
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and like you could see the difference in them. Like when they're coming up, as I say, I definitely seen some of them there at Kells Corner and that, and then where they dropped, where I don't know what the area the track is, where it's after Kells Corner, you go up to start finish,
and you switch the right,
drop off, and flick out into the right. But you could just see them there, and with the all sport wheels and the drum brake on the back, and it was brilliant. And then it was as if some of them, there was a couple of them on the two strokes, it was as if they kind of held the clutch going around the kind of corner.
Oh yeah, well they're firing out the clutch, like they're trying to keep this thing in probably a power band or a power valve in that power band, like, you know, and they're kind of half slipping, and like you're thinking to yourself, like, these boys, like everyone else has trash control, anti-wheelie, all the bells and whistles. These boys are going out with a wing and a prayer. In fairness to them, like brakes, like drum brakes in the back. Yeah, fair enough. They might have a few discs up the front, but
and battles going everywhere.
Going anywhere. There was one man that was very successful in the whole lot of it. Now, I off the top of my head, I can't think of his name.
Kildee, was it not Kildee?
Yeah, I can't remember his name now. And I'm bullying now. I can't remember his name, but he was absolutely on fire, right? On fire. Now, I would recommend to bring a set of ear defenders, which advice when they do go by, because they are unbelievable. The big old trumpets out of them, the bangs and the pure smell of unburned petrol, which is deadly. And then there was some of them were even there was a bit of an unusual smell off some of them. Like, do you remember some of them older ones, because they would have ran on leaded petrol? That's right. Yeah, so I had to put the lead replacement or whatever. Actually, the main man there, I think, was Richard Ford. Okay. Yeah, Lancaster. He is all that. He was on fire, in fairness to him. Bob Jackson as well on the Norton 920. He was fantastic as well. Some bikes, man, they're gorgeous to see. Look, and like, it's just, I suppose for the last couple of years it's been a kind of in a hiatus, and all these lads' bikes sitting there, all the money have been put into them. And I suppose, look, it does take an awful lot out of any man, like to go or any person for that matter today, to go and invest all that and then to be sat on the sideline and wonder, what am I going to do now?
Like, to see so it's important to know as well, like, if you had a good weekend, if you enjoyed it, if you like your road racing and you want to see it continue, get onto the Two Wheels Lotto, support it.
100%.
It's important to do it now more so than ever.
It's a cheap, great day out for the whole family.
Absolutely. The marshals there, they all had, decent elements. Like,
well, they bought the guys all brand new Aries. I think they're RX-7s or whatever, and look, in fairness, when you sit and listen, look at the three marshals flying around.
Base was class. I think I was a 10 so I brought cousins of mine that were home from Australia. Actually, they're new listeners to the podcast.
Oh, yeah, the boys,
Were they not from Chicago?
Chicago, I don't think they see much of that now.
I didn't say Australia.
No,
I didn't.
No.
Anyway, go on.
Massive shout out to the boys.
Two nice fellas under that as a sound man.
God, 100%. Finn Maguire, Declan Maguire, of course, is their dad, Tommy Maguire. They thoroughly enjoyed it, but I was laughing. Finn's, I think, about 10. He's around Cooper's age.
Smaller,
Small little fella.
He's sound lad,
little fella. And he could hear these bikes coming. We were at the jumps. We could hear these bikes coming. Next thing, whoa! And he looked and he was like, "Oh my God, that is unbelievable!" But it was one of the marshals
on a GS.
On the GS, I was like, "That's not the lads racing." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "That's not. Where do you see it?" And then when the first race came by, you could just, it was just like,
he was in shock.
Yeah, he nearly kind of got a fright. He was like,
Jesus Christ, my God. You don't see that in Chicago.
No. I did. Thought it was brilliant. So massive shout out to the lads.
And fair play to them. Fair play to their dad for bringing them along.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy's a legend anyway. Support Two Wheels Lotto. Get behind it. We want to see it. We've a good calendar coming up now. Obviously, Tandrakee's on this weekend. And then with Skerries on after that. So yeah, it's all happening. Get on.
It's all go, lads. It's all go.
Absolutely.
Get behind it now because it's back.
It is. We've a ton of stuff we want to talk about. Another on our tech and talk. We've an interesting one coming up. Jerry, you might want to leave for this.
Not going to be nice.
Not going to be nice. We've got some. We've got an interesting tech and talks along the Moto Guzzi lines. That's all coming up now, very very shortly. But before we do any of that, I think we'll jump over and we'll bring the chat with Marcus Simpson.
Absolutely.
And before I even do that, a little bit of a snippet. It took 3 attempts to get him on, but I'll give you a little snippet on just the first one. This set the tone. Marcus, I'm sorry, man, but I'm doing it. Folks, I would like to give a massive, massive welcome to road racing sensation, the one and only Marcus Simpson. How are you, man?
Yes, Mum, I'm doing a podcast. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry.
You're all right, man. Don't worry about it at all.
Maybe you leave that in.
And now the actual interview with Marcus. Folks, I'd like to give a massive welcome to a man that's now well known amongst the road racing circuits. It's the one and only Marcus Simpson. Marcus, third time's the charm. This is the third time we're attempting to do this, but third time's going to be the charm. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, third time wants to be a charm. Both of them being interrupted by me. Great mother. She come in the first time here into the lorry. I'm in the Tandragee 100 paddock here, and then the second time she's trying to drive away and my phone's connecting to her car, and little did I know I'm sat here for 5 minutes talking to nobody. Third time would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was having a great catch up with your mum, so it was great. It was all good. It was all good. You're up at the Tandragee 100, man. The weather is... How blessed are we with the weather, especially with Kells like last weekend, which we're going to jump into now as well. The weather's just phenomenal at the minute, isn't it?
You could. I don't want to say it, but it's almost too hot. I'm sat here in my wagon, and for those who think I might sound ill or hungover or any of that, I'm not. I'm struggling with the hay fever, and you know when summer's here because that all kicks off again. And I've struggled with it since Saturday at Kells last week, but we'll get that sorted and there'll be no drama. But the weather, as you say, is phenomenal. It was cracking down at Kells. I actually got stuck on the way in and out the paddock because the torrential rain that came just before the good weather on the Saturday Sunday. But it's class.
It is. We're just so lucky with it. As I say, Kells, we're going to definitely dive into that now shortly. But sure, I suppose just for those that aren't as familiar with yourself and your story as some of us are, how did it all start? Like, as I said, your family going back to the 1930s have a bit of a tradition, have a bit of a heritage going back that far with the Isle of Man. So great grandfather, was it?
No, so it was me great uncle, I think, was got a chap called Wilf Harden, and he competed in the 30 and 31 Manx and the 33 TT before he lost his arm in a car accident. And then my granddad was chief scrutineer and head of the Manx Motorcycle Club on my mum's side, and then my dad raced from 2004 until 2012. He did the Manx from 2006 to 2012, and he attempted to step up to the TT in 2013. Okay. But unfortunately, he passed away from cancer. And 6 months later, his cancer had come back. But so he never actually got out at the TT. So my first TT in 24, that was a nice little thing for me and for him.
That must have just been one of those pinch yourself moments, man. You know, I'm sure there was a sense that he was with you for every inch of that race, man. I'd say that's unreal.
Yeah, no, I have a tattoo on my back of him, and before I went road racing in 2022, I got this tattoo with the meaning behind it that he's always got me back, and it's he's always with me and keeping me safe and whatever else. So yeah, it's obviously not the way we want it. We'd love for him to be here, but unfortunately we can't always have the things that we want, and life can be difficult. But yeah, it's life.
It is, absolutely, man, absolutely. And then so you looking at some of your kind of story started, as I say, you've had that tradition there with it, you kind of started your earlier days. I know there was a mention of a Pee Wee 50 at one stage. I think we can all relate to a Pee Wee 50 story at some stage. But
Yeah.
you done a good bit of BMX riding. Even you were pretty successful at the BMX riding.
Yeah, so I did. I was 12th in Britain for BMX when I was 10 or 11, and Manx champion, and also did cycling, like road cycling, and was second in the Northwest region, and all these different things. But yeah, I never actually raced a motorbike until I would have been 17, and that actually would have been a motocross bike at a sand track up in Derby on the Isle of Man, and.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so I never raced any sort of motorbikes until I was 17, and then I never actually raced a road bike until I was 19.
Fucking hell, that's some change. Jesus Christ, man. I'm just thinking, like,
Yeah,
I seen you
yeah.
at Kells there at the weekend, and you think you came out of the womb racing a motorbike, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. So I mean, sort of I had a fairly steady come up compared to some people there recently, and like as I said, I did my first track day in 2018. After me father passed away, I went down the wrong path for a little bit, and as everyone does when they're 15, 16, when something like that happens,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I ended up going the wrong way. And
Yeah.
I turned 18 and I looked at my life and what I was doing, and I was like, this is wrong. It's not the right thing to do. And just like a switch flicked, and went down the right path then, and sort of got my first track bike, which was a 2CO R6. Did a couple of test days when I was 18 in 2018, and then 2019 started racing at Derby, and it took me a little while. I did 4 race meetings I think in 2019, and another 4 or 5 in COVID during 2020. I was supposed to go straight to Thundersport in 20, but with COVID it didn't happen. And by the end of my second year racing, so 2020, I still had my orange bib on. And the likes of Joe Yeardsley, Grant Thompson, some lads from the Isle of Man there that
Yeah.
are on with me and Joe have come up together, and Grant started a couple of years after. But they did their national license in a year, and I never did that. And then 2021, I was like, right, okay, I need to just box this off because I want to go road racing. That's always what it's been for me. It's always been about road racing, and growing up in the paddocks. With my dad doing it, whether it be just the Thursday off school at the Southern 100, and going down and supporting him, or going to the Ulster Grand Prix with him when he raced there. And I was also there when Dan Neen won his first international road race from Dean Harrison by 0 point something of a second. And yeah, Ryan and Callum Crowe are here at Tandragee helping one of their friends, Dale. And we were in the BMX track as kids, and it's just I've always been in the paddock, and it's always been the paddock at Derby or a road racing paddock. And I just looked up to everyone and always thought, especially my dad, sort of watched him doing it. I'm like, I could do it faster than him. I could do it better than him. And, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, not a clue about anything really, but knew I could do it. And eventually started doing it, and got the national by the end of 2021. And 2022 went to do Cookstown and Tandragee, and they were my first 2 road races. And they was going to do that, the pre-TT and the Southern 100, alongside a full season of Thundersport in 22.
Yeah.
And
You had an accident then, didn't
a
you?
mutual, yeah, well, a mutual friend on the Isle of Man sort of steered me in the direction of Michael Sweeney, Miko, and got chatting with him at Cookstown. He took me for a lap, and then come to Tandragee, and he took me for a lap, and I actually managed to put it pole at Tandragee at my second road race. And
That's
I think
I have to just come in there, like, that is no mean feat now, in all fairness. To just like that in, that is
yeah.
something else.
Yeah, we I think Poland senior support's great, but the thing that I always remember more for that is that my time would have actually put me something like 12th in the open qualifying session. So like the main sort of big bike qualifying session, I think I would have been 12th, which I think here at Tandragee would have had me in the first wave at my second road race. So yeah, that was a good do, but we never actually raced just before we were going to senior support. It absolutely chucked down, and there'd been loads of crashes that day, and they actually abandoned the meeting just before that race.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So then that brought it on then to when you look like just one thing there you mentioned, and I have to ask you the question on this. Going back, we can just go back 2018. You got your first R6 and you used to on a trailer and you used to tow it around with your Ford Fiesta, right? Say that.
Yeah, you are right in saying that. Yeah. So I lost my driving license before I had a driving license, and it's not too mad a story, to be honest. It's the back of the grandstand there. So I had some friends whose grandparents left their camper van there, and they used to leave their push bikes in it for after school, and they were trying to drive it, and they couldn't, and I could. So I jumped in. I think I'd have been 16, maybe 15, 16, and jumped in and jockeyed this camper van around the back of the grandstand. So, not on the open roads or anything like that. And anyway, next minute here, police. So I jumped out, abandoned ship, and on my bike, and I was away. And then anyway, I got a call that night off my auntie and uncle, and they said, "You best get home. You just had the police at the door." So.
Whoops.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it, and then anyway, a few months later, went to court and lost my license. And yeah, when I eventually did pass my test, then a few months later, I got no insurance on any vans or anything like that. So yeah, that's how much I wanted it. I had a Ford Fiesta and a trailer, and I went to Derby, and yeah, that was that.
The R6. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, it shows your sheer determination, man, if nothing else, anyway. In fairness to you, that was good going.
No, I wanted it, and nobody can ever question how much I want this. I'm hungry, I'm determined, and I want this. And looking in now, you could say, oh, he's got it or whatever. But we're not where we want to be yet. Still learning, still chipping away. And yeah, it's all going in the right direction.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I said, as we mentioned earlier, and I think we'll jump on to Kells now. I've obviously known of Marcus Simpson. I will be no expert by any manner of means on the road racing, but I would follow it in detail. Yours is a name that has come up a lot in recent years, and you only usually hear of the lads that are kind of either there or thereabouts or on their way. Obviously, you went to Kells, and I think we were all treated, and it's something we're going to talk about more in the podcast later, but I think we were just treated to just some of the best road racing in its truest form at the weekend. How did you find the whole experience at Kells?
Yeah, so I loved it. So in 2022, there, after Tandragee, Mikko said to me, you're doing well here on the roads. You can make a name for yourself, etc. Come and try and do all of these rounds over here. So that's what I did. And in 2022, I did every road race here, north and in the Republic there, and we just did the whole lot. And this year now, so that was 22. We're now in 2026, and obviously with the different battles and stuff that the clubs over here have had with insurance, it's not gone on for whatever reason. So the back end of the last year coming into this year, there was whispers that it might happen, it might not, and nobody really knew. And then everyone, then it seemed like we were good to go. So I haven't done Cookstown since 2023, as I ruptured my spleen there before TT. Was due to do TT as a newcomer. It's actually quite a good story, that. But I didn't know I'd done it. I said I was fine, and went and raced in the next race, in the Super Twins race. And I finished after that. I qualified half a second by Michael Dunlop and wanted to go and have a go. And as it was wet, and I didn't see which way Michael Dunlop went in the end. But I didn't, as I said, I didn't know I'd ruptured my spleen, and finished that next race. And for half an hour or so, I was like, I'm not well, but I'm not going to get checked again. I'll be fine. And as it turned out, I got rushed to hospital because I was in and out of consciousness, bleeding out internally. So yeah, I didn't lose my
Jesus
spleen in the end, but
Christ.
yeah,
Holy
it's
shit. I'll tell you, it kind of doesn't surprise me in a way because you're a solid lump of a man. You know what I mean? A lot of lads
yeah,
think
yeah,
road racers like they're all around the 50 kilos or 60 kilos, whatever. You're a solid lump of lad. I wouldn't like to take a
yeah.
slap off you. So you're obviously met out with tough stuff, man.
Yeah, you could say so. Tough stuff or stupid stuff. I don't know which it is, but yeah. So I hadn't done Cookstown since then because I didn't want to hamper any things. But then coming back now to what you're saying, this year full season of Irish road racing, and I'm big into trying to do a championship and stuff like that. So although this year they don't technically count for anything, I'm making a point of doing all of them. And I want this to come back more than any man. I want there to be the good old days and stuff like that. And I don't think we'll quite ever see the same as the good old days. But if the likes of me don't support it, then it's gonna go. So so we did Cookstown there at the start of the year, and then obviously Northwest TT, and Kel's first one back. And in terms of your question, what's it like being back down there? Oh, it was just brilliant. Proper, as you say, the purest sort of rawest form of road racing, where you had hedges lined. And I was chatting to Mikko about it before, and obviously I only have done 1 year of this and done maybe 3 or 4 Irish roads down south. And I couldn't tell you about years ago with crowds and stuff, but Mikko assured me that the crowd was uncanny. It was very, very busy. And I mean, from my point of view, it was heaving. And just to be back on a proper small road, racing 1,000cc motorbikes, doing best part of 170 mile an hour up to the jumps or whatever you're doing, and in and out of a field which was a swamp, and my truck got stuck on the way in and the way out. So even though we had beautiful weather Saturday, Sunday, the rain on the Thursday and Friday when I was traveling down was torrential, and cling film on tires sorts of thing. And it's just that's some people want to go down the BSB route, some people want to do the cling film and shit on the road and whatever, and I'm that person that wants to do that. So
for sure.
That's just the way it goes.
I think like for as for like the likes of ourselves for viewing it, like it was just I honest to God thinking we've been to loads and loads of road races down through the years, from the Isle of Man to we've been to Northwest this year. We're going to Tandragina at the weekend. We go to most of them. Obviously, Kevin Keys, the man, we kind of help Kevin Keys out and we follow Kevin Keys in great detail. And we've gone to the BSB and we've gone to the what we have, the principal insurance.
Yes, the Mondello stuff or whatever. Yeah.
But on the last race on Sunday, when the trophies and the champagne was handed out, I hand on heart, it felt like the reaction you get at like a soccer game, or like what we class a game. Yeah, everybody was buzzing. It was I don't think you get that in short circuit racing. It was
I mean, look, that's where I met you, wasn't it, for the first time? And to get on the box there after the grand final and to be a part of all of that was phenomenal. And I mean, it was my mum's birthday on the Sunday, and as you'd have seen, I hope you joined in. We sang my mum happy birthday, and as you say, there must have been 200 people there, just jumped into that bit of the road, and 100% like a soccer game or whatever. It was incredible. It was brilliant.
It was, and then like, as I say, for the likes of the likes of us, you're like the likes of yourself, the Kevin Keys, the Michael Dunlams, the Mick O'Sweeney's, you're our heroes. You were our Valentino Rossi's, I suppose. But the beauty of the road racing is they're all accessible. It's nice to, we can actually go up and say, geez, nice to meet you, or, congratulations, or well done. Just has that kind of, I suppose, intimacy about it, which you don't get with an awful lot of other types of motorsport racing, and certainly motorcycle racing. So I just thought the whole thing start to finish was absolutely fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that starts from a young age. So for me, coming up through the ranks, if you like, if I go back to when I was, I was saying I was in a paddock when I was from 4 or 5 years old and riding around and whatever, I've been, growing up in it. I've been able to go and speak to these people and get them to sign my hat or a poster or whatever. And you aspire to be like them people. And them people, as you're growing up, are accessible. And I've said it to my team or friends or family, if it ever gets to a point where I say to a young lad who wants his hat signed, no, I'm too busy or whatever it is,
Yeah.
pull me down a peg or two, because under no circumstances do I ever want to change in that way. I'm a normal lad, and you said a superhero or whatever. I'm not. I'm just a normal lad chasing a dream, and yeah, it's incredible to now. It's a full circle of life for me.
Yeah.
I was going around the TT paddock getting me hat signed, Dunlop, the yellow Dunlop hats. I've still got it actually in my garage, and I'm now full circle signing the hats, and it's special. Moments
It
like
is.
that are really, really special.
No, it is definitely. But I suppose, like, as I say, like, we all ride bikes. Every one of us can ride bikes, and we've a multitude of different bikes between all of us in the club here and stuff. But from Gixxer thousands to every breed of York, and we've all had those kind of bikes, and we've all gone out on the road, and we've all broke fucking speed limits, and we've all got off the bike shaking and going, Jesus Christ, it might, you cop onto yourself. But to see the likes of yourself, Kevin Keys, and Mako Sweeney hitting the jumps, and the bike becoming airborne, and like when it lands, it's not as if it lands in a real smooth, calm motion. Quite often you get the fucking shakes. But the difference that separates you from the likes of us is you just keep it pinned. You will come around the next time and you'll try and go harder and harder and harder. Do you know what I mean? There's you don't have that, okay, shut off the throttle there. Holy shit. Fucking hell, that could have gone off.
You say that, but so it's going to sound really weird, but I describe road racing as chess. So road racing, and I agree with you, right? From the outside, sat on a hedge, which, by the way, I can't do anymore. I struggle like mad watching road racing now. It petrifies me because, as you say, the smallest little twitch, this, that, you think, oh, and then you're thinking, God, is that what I'm like? Jesus Christ. No, not for me. But when you're on that bike, it's not as crazy as it looks. And that, I know that doesn't make sense, but it's really not. It's so methodical. There's so much thought and precision that's going into it. And that's why I'd say it's like chess, because you're thinking so far ahead. So, you're saying about the jumps there, like before the jumps, the problem with the jumps at Kells is not the jump necessarily itself, the last one. It's the fact that there's 2 or 3 little rollers before it, which want to unsettle the bike. And the first one at wheelies, which then compresses it into the dip, which then, as you come up the next roller, it sort of pops the suspension up, and then you find yourself in, as you say, in a bit of a squirm. But and again, the real strange bit, and something that I'm learning very fast, is that the throttle is I've said it to a few people recently, trying to sort of give them some help and whatever. The throttle is your biggest, like your best friend and your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because if you let off the throttle, the bike becomes the bike's stupid, right? And the bike needs you to tell it what to do. So if you come off the throttle, it doesn't know what to do. Whereas if you keep that throttle going, she's driving straight, she's in a straight line, and it does what you want it to do. You're in control. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we do get back on the throttle and want to go harder the next time, and yeah, of course it's crazy. Like, it's not only the more I've sort of come up now, and the more I've seen things that no man should see, and all the negatives of it, and then the things that I've been through personally with my accidents. Only, as I said, I've grown up with this. It's completely normal to me. But
Yeah.
actually now witnessing these things and going through these things firsthand, now do I realize, and I've heard you swear and I'm going to swear, now do I realize how fucked up this is. It's so fucked up, but it's
Yeah.
such an amazing thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is like start to finish. It is, but like even over the jumps, I was laughing. At one stage, I was managed to get myself up on top of a pillar of a gate. So while most people could see you guys hitting the jumps, but I could see you hitting the jumps and then the bike landing, and as you headed for the village corner, and I was the only one that could see it. So everybody could see us hitting the jumps. That was grand. They were happy. But I could see the bike getting into a squirm, and obviously the instant thing, I was putting my hand on my head going, Jesus Christ. Everybody was looking at me going, oh shit, what's after happening? Do you know what I mean? And then you kept going. And then the next lap, it was the same thing. And I was just like, oh, fucking hell, I'm going to have a heart attack here. Jesus Christ. So, but I get what you're saying. I have heard that before. When you're on the bike, and I suppose that, you're out the clutch and that's it. You're supposed focused on the job.
Yeah, and somebody told me there's something recently. I think around the time of the TT that actually the human brain cannot make decisions fast enough for the likes of the TT. So it's all sort of through the subconscious mind,
Yeah.
which I find fascinating. It's when people say about natural this or natural that, like when the subconscious mind is actually riding that bike, and that is very much you. But it's I find it really quite fascinating, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I still maintain it's a very special type of person that can do what you do, and more luck to you. It's absolutely phenomenal. How did you find with your weekend in Kells? Obviously, there was some fantastic battles you had throughout the weekend. None more so than I suppose with yourself and Kevin Keys and stuff. On the last race, I think it was just kind of maybe the highlight of it for most people. Was there anything you would have changed? Are you happy, obviously, with the results out at Kells?
So the first race, I was absolutely livid after it. So for those who don't know, we on particularly the big bikes, but all of the bikes, you run what's called a span adjuster, and it basically alters the position of your front brake lever. So as you do more and more laps and the heat gets into the brake lever becomes softer, which means you have a worse feeling with it, and it can come back and touch your other fingers on the handlebar, which means you're not got enough stopping power, basically. Yeah, travel, exactly. So this span adjuster works one of two ways, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and it pushes the lever in or out.
Yep.
And I was sat in third, and I was sort of used the first couple of laps to sort of get settled, and I was then sort of could see I was catching Brian McCormick, and I was getting ready to make a move, and I just put a couple of clicks on this adjuster to make the move on him, just to make sure I had the full brake. And I went the wrong way, and that's then when I went straight on into the last corner, going onto the last lap.
Yeah.
And I was fuming with myself, and I looked to my right, and Ryan Whitehall's there, and he nips up the inside of me as I'm on the grass, and then come back on the track, bolt it down to turn 2, the first road, and get on the back of him, pass him into the third road end. And how on the way to that third road end, I put a load of clicks on this span adjuster to put it in the right place. And not only did I do it wrong once, I did it wrong twice. So when I pulled that brake, I had nothing. And all I could see was the driveway where I was going for to go straight up. And to be honest, I don't know how the bike stopped. It did stop, and I got past Ryan, but it nerved me up a little bit. And then coming out of the sweep onto the jumps, I just didn't fully commit, because truthfully, I just didn't know what I was going to have in my hand going into the last corner. And as it turned out, Ryan passed me, and I finished fourth. And I was really, really upset about that, to be honest. And then, yeah, the Super Sport race was brilliant. Best I could have hoped for was third, really. My Triumph at the minute is causing me a bit of bother with top end and stuff. And it's going to be the same again this weekend, and I've just got to accept it. It is what it is, and I don't quite know what's going on. We tried a load of things at the TT. None of it seems to have really worked. So, yeah, I'm not going to say too much more on that, but it is what it is. Then, the last race, we were sat there nicely in third, and Miko sat in second, and then Miko come past me, and I'd like to have tried to have gone with Miko and gone past Brian when he did, and tried to sit on his bumper to learn some stuff, to have even, maybe tried to have a race with him. But I was just a little bit too safe and a little bit too hesitant, which Kev Keys wasn't. He tried to come barreling down the inside of me and Brian into the last corner. And as it turned out, great for me, he pushed the pair of them wide, and I then had a nice, easy access to second place, and got a nice gap from me to them, which I then just kept my head down and ticked the remaining 4 or 3 laps, whatever it was, off, and brought it home in second with a nice 2-second advantage over them. And I could see Miko. He was a couple of seconds up the road, maybe a few, and I could sort of, keep him in my sights, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, I think so I ride for WH Racing at the Northwest TT, the Southern 100, and 2 Northern Irish roads, which this year are Tandragee and Armoy. And they can't make all of the rounds. Now, their Fireblade is a 23, but it's got the latest spec ECU in it. The Fireblade I'm riding there, and I was riding at Cookstown, is a 2021 bike with the first model ECU. It's just my practice bike. So the electronics aids on it in terms of the anti-wheelie and traction and all that, they're not very. It's me and the throttle, which is generally how I like it. But when you've got Miko there on his BM that is dialed into perfection, and especially on that electronic side, it's becoming quite hard for me to make that gap. And it's making me think about switching manufacturers next year, and go into the BM. And especially, as you've already said, I'm a big brute of a lad, and the BM is definitely more suited to my sort of size, with the size of the fairings and stuff like that. So good weekend at Kells. We're doing the best we can, really, I think, with the package we have. And don't get me wrong, I could go and buy a later spec ECU, I could go and buy a later spec whatever right now, but I'm in no rush to do anything crazy. And I unfortunately in 2024 I had a real difficult year and learned the hard way, and I'm very much trying to just walk before I run. And
that's a sensible approach, in fairness. And you're still, as I say, you are young. You've got plenty of years ahead of you. And you don't want to rush the roads, because it
bites. It bites, and we found out in recent years by many people, they're and God rest their souls, but they come on the scene, and everyone's like, oh, have you seen, I'm not going to mention any names, but X, Y, and Z, and unfortunately, there's a good few X, Y, and Zs that are no longer with us, and
I know.
You have to really, for anyone who's maybe listening to this and thinking of getting into road racing, you just take your time, because
give it the respect that it deserves. I think it's a big one,
Yes, exactly.
Respect, definitely, yeah. Look, as I said to you, I think definitely. I think Marcus Simpson and the likes of Kevin Keane stuff is just onwards and upwards. I think you're on a trajectory. I think you have the package. I think, and again, you have a good head in your shoulders, man. I'd not be talking to you. You're a sensible lad. You know what I mean? And that's very appealing to teams too. It's all well and good having all the the best of talent and being slightly fucking mad and being able to, but you have to have a level head at the back of it all, because I'm sure you've seen it throughout your career. There's been some circumstances that will test you mentally more so than physically and stuff, and you have to have a kind of a cool head for stuff like that too.
Yeah, 100%. And the whole mental side of things and on all of that is obviously being spoken about a lot more these days, which is great. And I've had my fair share of troubles in life, and particularly during my racing career. Briefly said there in 24, I had a bad year, and I had two big accidents that. One at the Northwest Simpson McElroy chicane, which my head missed a lamppost which had no cover on it by a fag paper or two, which could have ended very badly. And then I crashed at a corner at the TT called Casey's, which is two corners before the veranda, which is where Connor Cummins obviously crashed there back in 2010 or 11 it was. And it was 130, 140 odd mile an hour crash that I had, and by the skin of my teeth, and maybe by a bit of luck and whatever, my knee landed on top of this curb, and it managed to send me back into the road rather than going down this rock gully. And I think I'm right in saying I'm the first person to survive crashing there. And it's claimed the lives of two riders, Adam Lyons and someone Smythe from the Isle of Man. And I got very lucky in them two accidents that the one at the Northwest I walked away from with no injuries, a bit of a swollen knee, and the one at the TT I broke my hands. I broke both hands in a thumb and a finger and a knuckle and stuff, but got very lucky, and after it, I've definitely had my struggles. It was, without going too deep into it, I did realize how lucky I was to still be alive, and it makes you think. And thanks to a chap called Michael Wilson, Whiff, as some people might know him, we got back out there at Armoy 6 weeks later, and then went back went to Macau and did an Alton Park and stuff, and just basically got back going again. But then 2025, I really took the advice of a very good friend of mine and one of my mentors, Davey Todd, and just forgot about everything that was going on and just went and enjoyed riding my bike. And that's now the philosophy I have full time with riding, is just go out and have fun, and go and do some wheelies, go and do some skids, go and do a few jumps, twist the fucking throttle hard, and just have some fun. Because at the end of the day, this still costs me money to do. I'm not earning a living out of this or anything like that. It's a hobby right now, and don't get me wrong, I take it to an extreme level of the hobby, and put a lot into it.
Of course.
It's got to be fun. And once I realized that and changed that mindset and whatever, it's just all started to click into place for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
last year we just rebuilt the base.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost you there for a second. I was just saying, like, that is something that you do hear on occasion for lads that maybe go from it being a hobby to as in an amateur rider to a professional rider. While probably when you're an amateur rider, a lot of lads aspire to become a professional and making it a full-time job. But then you do hear all too often that then it is a job, and they can lose some of the love for it. So I suppose that's
100%. Yeah, and like the way I do it, now, like it's full on. It's absolutely full on, and it's from the 30th of January when I went to Spain until now. It's been every weekend of some description, and then come September, I'll likely, we'll see what happens, but last year I went back to work from September to January. I was doing some roofing this winter, just gone, and then started studying in January. And I am thinking about life outside of this now, because the last few years I have just given it everything and stopped that. But I actually do have time that I can think of both. And I'm not a one-man band by any means. I've got great people helping me. I've got great sponsors. I've got my family, my mum that support me. She's a lot of them, if not all of them. And but essentially, it's me loading the truck. It's me getting the bikes ready in the week. Like this week I've been at Stanley Stewart's cleaning them, and it's a lot of effort that goes into it. But you've got to just enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah. Well, you definitely look like someone that's having a fucking whale of a time when you're out on that bike. Anyway, man. Absolutely having a fucking whale of a time.
But you see, this is the thing, it's not just on the bike. It's a full-time job in itself, between cleaning them, prepping them, training for it, getting the sponsorship together to make it all happen, and
Sure.
Finding the lads that can help you. At the minute, I've not got help for Skerries next weekend, but I'm just trying to sort that out. It should be okay. You should have the same lads as Kells, but it's the ride and the bike, and as you would have seen at the weekend, I think I did 12 laps on the Saturday, which, okay, that's what, call it 13 minutes, 14 minutes. And then on the Sunday, again, I did 18 laps. So let's call that 22 minutes. So over that weekend, I rode for less than an hour. Like, you have to enjoy way more than riding the bike, because riding the bike's the shortest and it's the funnest part of it. Of course it is, but it's a fraction of what goes into it.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I don't know. It's like a cult, I suppose. Racing and motorcycles in general. As I say with the podcast here, we speak to lads that are not necessarily just racers. There'll be lads from all different disciplines. Lads that don't race, lads that are into the adventure touring side of things. And while, like ourselves, we love getting on the bike and going for a weekend, maybe go to Spain or go wherever on the bike. Absolutely, but we also love packing the bike, clean the bike, getting it ready, having your mates around, talking about bikes. It's the whole thing.
Yes, it's a way of life. It's a way of life.
It is absolutely. It's a way of life, 100%. Speaking, obviously, there's a huge financial implications of running, a team as such, and getting yourself to all these races. And I know you have, as I said, WHRS, and you have a team there. You want to give a bit of a shout out to your sponsors, and are you in a position that you'd be looking for some sponsors or going forward, or is there anything in particular that, say, the people listening to this podcast might be interested in getting involved in and giving you a bit of a dig out?
Yeah, so in terms of my sponsors, I've got a great base of sponsors. A new one come on board this year, which was D&D Buckley Racing, and that's the people might have seen on my bikes. I've got Leighton Orient Football Club on there, and Buckley is the link into that, and he sort of is part of that football club and funds the junior side of that because of his family heritage and things and stuff, and he's my title sponsor this year, and I've got other great sponsors like LD Glazing, Creative Shop, Millionaire Competitions, Trade Nation, Fan Merch, Oasis Bar, Forever Road Race, and Ugly & Co, Pipeworks, and if I've forgotten anybody, I apologise, but I also, in terms of people listening to this podcast, I've got the likes of I run my own little 23 club, which essentially you could call a supporters club, and we've got like a little Facebook Messenger chat. I do a launch night at the start of the year and an end of season party. I'm doing that inverted commas with my fingers when I say party, a get together, because a lot of people in this game, it's very easy to come February, March, go on the hunt for a sponsorship, right? And say somebody gives you $2,000, say they give you, it doesn't matter whether they give you 500 quid or 10 grand, right? They give you what they give you, and people are very good at taking it and then going back in November after not talking to them for 6 months and giving them a photo saying thanks very much, do you want to go again next year? And I've sort of learned, and from watching and being a part of this, that's not the way to do it. And you have to, people who are kind enough to part ways with their hard-earned cash, they want to feel a part of what's going on. That's actually what they want, because realistically, if my bike goes past at the TT and I'm looking at my leathers here now and I've got LD Glazing staring at me, so it's a glazing company on the Isle of Man, and if there's a chap sat in the hedge and he can see LD Glazing on my leg, I'm not going fast enough, because so realistically what I'm saying is, do they expect to get business out of it? No, probably not. They're doing it for the love of the sport or the love of me or whatever it is that drives them. But they just want to be a part of it and feel involved with it. And I try my absolute hardest to make sure, whether it's somebody who gives me £1,000 or somebody who gives me £10,000, I just want them to make sure that they feel like they got their value for money. In terms of, needing sponsors, everyone in this paddock always needs and wants more sponsors. The bike's never too filled. As I say, I run that 23 club. There's sort of 2 different packages with that can get people involved, and it's a more personal sort of sponsorship of a couple of £100 or just £100, just over. It's 123 and 230 because my number's 23. And then there's like little give backs and all that stuff that people do with supporters clubs. So
it's a great thing. As I say, we sponsor. We're one of Kevin Key's sponsor. And for that, exactly as you said, we've got the Motorcycle Hour podcast logo on his letters and stuff. And exactly as you says, we're not putting it on there thinking, people are going to see it on his letters. Yes, they won't, because unless he's either parked up or, do you know what I mean? It's not for that. It's just to say, well, why do we do the podcast? Why do we put in all this work? Well, we're able to give back a little bit of something. We go, right, Kevin's local to us here. And it's just great to see it. And then, like, what do we get out of it? Well, obviously, we get the satisfaction of knowing we're helping him out. He's got a WhatsApp group for the sponsors, and he keeps us up to date with stuff. We'll probably get a video or 2 over the weekend, and it's just brilliant. And I would urge anybody that's out there that's maybe thinking, yeah, geez, that sounds like something I could be interested in. Reach out to yourselves. What's the best way? I know you're obviously on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. What's the best way for people that, if they want to get involved, Marcus, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so as you said, Instagram and Facebook, me Instagram's Marcus W. Simpson and Facebook is Spartacus 23, a nickname that I got from a chap called Tony Bass, Slick, as some people might know. It actually came from Andy Cowan and Dan Neen years before that, but the Slick sort of told me to run with that as my nickname with the racing back in 2021 before I went road racing in 22. But I've also got a website, which is marcussimpson23.com. And if you go onto that, and there's a sponsorship form on there, and it'll fire me an email once you've filled it out. And there's you can order me merch from there. So, whether it's buying a cap or joining the 23 club or coming on board as a 10 grand sponsor, it all helps. Every single part of it helps. And, as I said there before, there's nobody's ever got too much sponsorship, because the money that this game takes is quite frankly crazy. But you either want it or you don't.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Well, I would urge anybody that's out there listening, get on. Your merchandise is absolutely class. I had a look at it earlier on, so and it's very reasonable, and again, it's going to be supporting yourself. So jump on to, as I say, was it Marcus Simpson 23 .com, and order yourself some merchandise and check your social medias and stuff. Marcus, I could talk to you for a week, man, but I'm conscious of time. I know you've got to get ready for Tandragee. You've got a busy weekend ahead of you. The absolute best of luck for the weekend going forward. Hopefully we might be able to run into you up there at some stage. And the best of luck with everything going forward, man. I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, because you definitely want to watch.
No, 100%. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me on here. And anybody who's made it to this point of the podcast, I hope you, give us a follow, give us a look, and I love this game. I love road racing. It's my life, and I sort of said about Mikko being a big helper of mine and stuff, and to I'm about 13 or so years behind him. So, we got plenty of time and plenty of years to go. And I'd love to be one of the veterans who people look up to in 10 or so years' time, and just keep doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, it's class.
I don't think we're going to be waiting 10 years till we see you in the top step of the podium with TT, to be honest with you. But I look forward to it, man. And again, thanks a million.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to get me back on when that happens then, eh? Or maybe before.
The door's open, Marcus. Yeah. Anytime you want to come on for chat, man, I fucking enjoy. And I got to know your mum as well, which was that was unexpected. That was just a cherry on top, man. Lovely stuff, Marcus. Talk to you again soon, man. All right, you take care of yourself.
Thanks, Brendan. Cheers now.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Bye.
And that was the one and only Marcus Simpson. An interesting dude. A lad you'd love to go for a few pints with.
Yep.
Put you that way. And definitely want to be watching.
Very interesting fella. In fairness to him.
We're going to see a lot more Marcus on the top step in the very, very near future. But look, interested to see how he gets on now in Tandra Gate week. Yeah. But it's all happening. It's all shaping up. Another thing we forgot to mention, lads, we had our first ever spin over to the Auto Collective meet Monday night over in Roaches in Donaghadee, would you call it?
Donaghadee, yeah.
Savage night. The weather was class.
Yeah.
Good selection of bikes now. It was a good crowd at it.
Yeah, there was a nice crowd there, yeah.
I have to say, Roaches is a lovely place.
Roaches is class, but
last place I got mad.
Was that what they called it? I'll tell you one thing, it's a sinking old pub, but other than that, no, it's a lovely place. Were you ever over there?
Yeah, I was over it. It was actually, that was a photo rally point one year.
Was it?
I can see that being
the 100%. Food and everything in the place. We actually had a beautiful 0-0 Heineken pint of
lovely
Heineken,
job.
which are very responsible of us in fairness.
Yeah.
But no, I have to say, start to finish, the place is absolutely class. It's and a great crowd at the back of it all to boot.
Hopefully it keeps going well, lads.
Onwards and upwards, as the fella says. No, it was a great whole setup. Some nice bikes at. That's another thing. Like you see the majority of the bikes over there. They're adventure tours.
Oh yeah.
They are. Well, now to be fair, to get to that pub,
Jeez, it's not that bad.
You'd nearly want to tank to get across some of those roads, they're not great, Brian.
Well, they're not great, I suppose, but they're not just quite as bad as you don't necessarily.
Well, look, lads, it keeps you alert.
Yeah,
it does
keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely. What did you think of it, Jar?
That was grand. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The shite spread in the road by the farmer.
I know. That's
well, that is the time of the year, boys. They don't care.
This was pure wet shite, like, as in it was like all over the road. There was no
really.
There was no.
It was like your man dumped half the slurry tanker on the road.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just at this time of the year, it's dodging big M mowers and silage shredders and tractors.
Yeah. And young lads texting on the phone.
Lads, I met him on coming over here this evening.
Did you?
Lads, Jesus Christ, me 15 or 16 ton of silage in the back of this thing. And a tractor, and he on the bloody phone.
Yeah. TikTok.
Lit.
Oh, God.
Sending out tweets. Is that what young people do nowadays?
Yeah.
Sending out the old tweets.
Right, okay. Adding people friends.
Try not to drive over me while you're at it, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Look, we're sounding like, you know what we sound like? We sound like real outlads now, so we do. Now, just a quick break in the podcast with a word from some of our sponsors. City Spares Motorcycles, Cherry Orchard Industrial Estate Dublin, Honda and Suzuki agent with a large selection of new and used motorcycles. P&B Heating and Plumbing, Edenderry, County Offaly, your go-to for all your heating and plumbing installations and repairs with a dedicated 24/7 emergency plumbing call-out service. Now, let's get back to the podcast. We've a couple of bits and pieces. This weekend is a busy weekend coming up with a lot of stuff on. Of course, Tandra, as we mentioned earlier, that's going to be one of the biggest ones that's on this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know what the weather's given. If you're to look at any of the media, the apocalypse.
There's a tornado coming.
There's a tornado coming.
Possibility of tornadoes, possibility of lightning, thunder flooding, and plague of locusts.
And the three horsemen.
Of the apocalypse.
Well, other than that, as the fella says, it's going to be grand. You know what I mean? It's good out day weather. Yeah, 100%. I hope they're all bailing the hay because tomorrow it'll be all up in there. It'll be gone.
Yep.
What else have we got on this weekend? Roscoe and McQuaid?
What else have we got on? The Green Knights are on this weekend. Their 10th rally.
They're going a good way now, aren't they?
They are, by good spot.
In the Wellmoat, County Westmeath, N37 P593.
The Wellmoat, another nice spot.
That's on the 26th and 27th. Also on the 26th and 27th, there's Monsters Inc. Monster Bash. That's in the Bunker Bar, Gorey, County Wexford, Y25 T889. And for anyone up further north of the border, the 26th, 27th to 28th, Tricksters MCC 25th, Triple X rated rally. That's in O'Hagan's Bar, 28 Esker Road, Oma, BT781UW.
Triple X rated now sounds.
I don't know. What are you up there, boys?
I like it.
What are you up there?
And finally, well, by no means least, on the 28th, that's Sunday.
Correct, right? Yeah.
We've got Weasel's MCC, third Jelly Bean run. I don't know if jelly beans are involved in that one now, to be honest with you. But that's in Skelly's Petrol Station, Killy, Finla, Ballyjames Duff, County Cavan, AB2, DK1.
Above in County Cavan, hey.
Cavan.
Hard debate.
Have a good day up there, boy.
If there's jelly beans involved, if it's in Cavan, you have to give them back anyway. That's deserved.
You get to suck them for a little while, then you have to hand them back.
You hand them back.
Or you just swap them around.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of good things on this weekend as well.
That's the job, lads.
Come here, lads. There's a lot of stuff we want to talk about. Before we do wrap it up, Jer's over there, and I can see he's getting nervous. He's getting nervous. So
well, now in fairness, he's no one to blame on himself.
He has no one to blame.
He did give us his bike.
He did give us his bike. So on that note, there's only one to say. Do you know what time it is, do you?
And now it's time for the Tech and Torque Report.
Ross, over to you, man, as ever.
Right.
What have we got on this week's Tech and
We
Torque?
have the Moto Guzzi, Carbonara, garlic bread and cider wedges. No, that was me order to Galileo.
Mixing up the Italians, man.
So we took a spin on Jor's Big Bad 2017 Stelvio NTX 1200.
What do you think?
A nice bike.
Oh yeah,
you're so
I don't think I'd buy it.
Oh, hey, see the way he said with the tracer was don't.
No, but we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay, okay.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Now we all had an opportunity to rate it.
Yeah.
So McQuaid, we'll go over to you. You're going to slate it, and we're going to pick it up from there.
Yeah.
What did you not like about it? Or what did you like about
well, no, I'll tell you what I did like about it. The gearbox wasn't smooth, which I'm used to.
it? Okay.
No, there was it's a bit agricultural, no more so than the Tigers.
Yeah.
There is a nice grunt out, but when you get it up to about 6,000 RPM, it handles very well. I will say that you can throw it into the corner, no bother, and there is plenty of poke in it.
Yeah.
I didn't get a graph for it.
Okay, you just didn't like the look of it. Didn't like the feel of it.
No, it didn't. It's just something that it didn't tick that box that you need. Just like I'd buy that.
It was just a bit of a meh.
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
All right, okay. Jesus Christ, strong words there.
But in fairness,
Jared, do you need a minute to compose yourself?
Roscoe, now, in fairness, is a hard man to please.
But now I do feel that way about the Tiger as well. But I still have that. So.
I don't know if they've made a bike for you yet, man. To be honest with you,
it's Phaser. I love my Phaser.
You love your Phaser, yeah.
Love me Phasers.
Okay. You're going to have to move
the one brake
Phaser.
Phaser.
The one brake Phaser.
No brake with that front fucking.
Excuse me, insurance companies maybe listen. Mark, what did you think?
I actually loved it. I'll be honest with you, Jared. It's not because you're sitting across from me, give me the evils or anything like that. But no, I really loved it. That's the truth. The riding position is absolutely fantastic on it. I think it is design built around the roads where we live. It just absolutely devours back roads. Like there's nothing, no problems to it. The bars are extremely easy to maneuver with the wider bars, should I say. The seat is absolutely plush. Look, listen, it's a typical...
it's a mile muncher.
Yeah, it's a mile muncher. Like you could do a lot on this bike. Like, you can do 2 up touring, you could do go yourself, disappear for a month, whatever you want. Look, listen, it's an agricultural thing, but at the end of the day, it is the GS's rival, say, of that era, 2017. And to be quite honest with you, if you put 2 bikes in front of me, I would buy the Moto Guzzi. And that's been honest now. I think it's way better value, bang for buck. I think maybe in the long term it could be even a bit more reliable. Now, nobody shoot me for saying that, but I do think that, now, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think the build quality is top notch in it. And sure, it's a typical Italian bike. It has lots of styling and stuff like that. And I would recommend one. Yeah. As I said, it's agricultural enough regarding gearboxes and stuff like that, but so is a GS.
Yep.
Front brakes wouldn't be hectic on it, but look, that's a lot of adventure bikes are like that, because you're probably standing on the back brakes a bit more anyway. But as regarding handling, it's fantastic. You just need to get your head around it. Once it moves, that's it. You have it moving at 5 miles an hour. This thing is child's play to throw around, So yeah,
funny enough, the heaviest bike out of the 3 there last night by a long shot.
Well, it's a 1200, so I would, that doesn't really surprise me.
What was remote generous?
So the Moto Guzzi, dry wet. Yeah, have a guess.
I'd say 250.
60.
265.
Wow. And what's the tracer?
The tracer's wet weight, so gave about a 20 litre tank on it. Wet weight's about 227.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a fair distance.
Against the Tiger, The Tiger's 198 try.
Go away.
Yeah.
And you thought the Tiger was heavy.
Weirdly enough, I thought when I was wheeling Jers out of the shed, geez, this is more easy.
But that's where I was saying to you, that's where the big wider bars come into it. You have great leverage with that bike, like,
Absolutely.
and like to throw it up in a centre stand, like Jer's bike is kit out to the last. In fairness, he's, side boxes, top box, everything, it come with all the bells and whistles, like, and like genuinely the minute this thing rolls, once it's rolling, it's absolute child's play. I can see why Jar likes it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I do like the colour of it.
Yeah, the colour of it.
No. How about you?
Well, I suppose you don't like it.
I just wouldn't have
You
one.
wouldn't get one. You
I wouldn't
definitely
get
get one.
I would. I'd have no problem buying one.
Yeah, I would be somewhere in the middle. I would. There's parts of the bike I really like. There's parts of the bike I really don't. I suppose if we look at the likes, I like the look of it. It's definitely a looker. It's you can compare it to the GS, I suppose, as how it feels to ride it.
Yes, that's what I would be. Yeah.
Although obviously the GS is the boxer twin. Yours is I suppose the 90-degree twin. But there's no comparison to the looks. I think it outlooks a GS any day.
Oh, it's a typical Italian styling.
Yeah, beautiful. I like the adventure style.
Flows an awful lot better.
Yeah, the single-sided swing out with the adventure style rims on it. I like all that. I like the wide set bars on it. They're very, very comfy. It's a comfy bike. It's a very, very comfy seat. It's
You could see yourself now just absolutely in some mountain range somewhere, just
or just jumping on that and Offaly and waking up in Germany.
Yeah, definitely. I do like all that. As I say, definitely the colour of it. I like the colour of it. With the box on it looks very, very well. It's smooth. It is very, very smooth to ride. A couple of things that I don't really like about it is, I probably would more so go for, I like a V-twin, I suppose, in certain aspects of it. I'm probably that used to like inline 3s and 4s. You really have to, it's
give her the beans.
sluggish to get it up to 5,000 revs.
Once you go there,
there's no hassle with it at all. The front brakes, I don't like, even though they're Brembo brakes, which I'm surprised. I'd say there might be a bit of an issue there. Might just need a waffle bleeding.
Yeah.
I think there might be something a little bit.
Maybe a set of new pads would go a long way with it as well.
Exactly.
I didn't even know there was front brakes on it.
Well, the engine braking does an awful lot for you, in fairness.
But as
well, with the way that engine is twisted around, I'd say you burned a little.
That's the next thing I was going to ask you, because in fairness, we didn't do any say heavy traffic riding, so we weren't in the big towns. We
weren't on it for a long time.
Yeah, but we weren't say where you're going to get rightly heated up like. So I did wonder.
I would say I'm 5'9", so I'm like, this is the reason I kind of stayed away for adventure bikes for so long, because my little short legs wouldn't get to the ground.
There's nothing wrong with being 5'9".
But
okay.
Oh, there you have. That answers that question.
Yeah. Say if you're 6'2", 3, 4,
big and awkward.
Your knees will be very close to them.
Cylinders.
No,
I just wondered that. Yeah, we were all wondering that last night.
I did look it up there today, and that is one of the few, I will say, complaints that people have.
Yeah,
is that
it was the first thing I asked you to. I wonder, does it get hot?
Yeah,
it definitely does in traffic. In traffic in the city, it's a pain in the arse.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Again, there's a couple of little. These are minor little things. The gear selector, it feels weird on it. I get it.
That's my third Moto Guzzi, and all Moto Guzzis are like that.
They're weird.
It's a little clonk,
but it's kind of vague. Yeah, because even you say you go for Jared from, even if you're just selecting neutral on it, like there's a big gap, if you know what I mean. Like it feels like you've just there's nothing there. Next minute you're in neutral, and then it's like there's nothing there. Then you're in second.
And I believe it's the same complaint with the newer one.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Very same.
Okay. But the center or the side stand is stupid. They need to fix that.
It's
stupid to have that. It's out in front.
It won't be like a Harley. It won't fall over.
Oh, jeez, but yeah, no, it's not a bike I don't think I'd buy. It's just, not that there's that. It's just, for me, I just don't like it. Now, at the same note, I wouldn't buy a GS either. I've had them, I haven't had them, but I've ridden them. You've owned a few of them.
I've had 5 or 6 of them at this stage. Like, and that's what I'd be comparing it to. So if anyone is out there and they are thinking about things like this, like, the Moto Guzzi has come on a long, long way. That new 85 version, like, that's a very reasonably priced bike, brand new even now. And like, second hand are really good. They get massive reviews anywhere you go. And any review you look at, they're a really, really popular bike.
You just have to ride them like a V-twin.
Yeah.
That means ringing the nuts.
Yeah,
out of
you
them.
just need to.
But you did say that to us before
Yeah.
we left. You said you said drive this.
Yeah, well, everything happens after 5,000.
Yeah.
But in fairness,
Well,
like
I held it at 11,000 revs. Like the whole
that was a
thing.
neutral number.
I know, that's what it was.
No, but nothing like you from 5 like to about 9. But you don't have to go redline it.
No.
There is torque there,
Oh,
like
God,
you know.
yeah.
But it's only like that's 4,000. That's if you just keep it in that sweet spot. If you need to burst out of a bend or
Do you know
whatever.
what it's like? It's like as if there's too much play on the throttle.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's like your wrist is like
Yeah.
fairly.
It reminded me
rounded.
now, to be honest with you, I had an older GS years ago, and it did remind me slightly with that. It was like when you opened it, it was like there was a kind of a delayed reaction.
Yeah, delayed reaction.
Where
Exactly.
because I was looking at the way it operated, and you can see it. It's a long pull from where your throttle is down to your carb or whatever your injection system. Like it's a long pull. Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I noticed that now. It's very you're really twisting
Yeah.
the throttle to get up.
Yeah.
Now, like that, you're kind of going, "Fuck's sake, is this shot? What the fuck's going on here?" And then it gets up. Then it gets up to 5,000. You're like, "Oh, be the holy fuck!"
Yeah, and then you know you're moving like
You're shifting,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Boys, do you want to know some fun facts about Moto Guzzi? Jerry, you obviously know all these because you're a
Well, you're one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Go on, hit us with it.
But did you know that it was founded in 1921?
Yeah, I did.
Moto Guzzi is the oldest European motorcycle manufacturer in continuous production.
There you go. Out beats Ducati, so.
Oh, yeah. Do you know where their headquarters are?
Italy somewhere, I suppose.
Well, that would be a bit of a giveaway, but
yeah.
Mandello.
Mandela and
Mandello del Laro in Italy, and it's the brand is world renowned for its heritage racing dominance.
Have they
And
kind of a
signature-
track, Brendan, on top of the roof of their
Not on the
building?
roof, around the building.
Ah, that's
and it's
it,
pretty
yeah.
small.
Yeah.
And they can get up to 90 mile an hour.
That's right,
Which is a
yeah.
bit
Woohoo.
fucking mad. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Bit crack.
Yeah. The emblematic eagle, which is the logo, features spread wings. It's adopted in honor of the co-founder Giovanni Revelili, which sounds like a nice Italian dish. I've had that before.
Oh, very good.
Oh, your Italians had it coming on.
Really, that's really nice.
he's
With
from Tullamore.
some Parmesan on it. It goes well on garlic potatoes. And an Italian Air Corps pilot he was. Yeah.
Very good.
And he tragically died in a plane crash just days after World War I ended. So it gives you an idea of just how old it is. Did a legendary V8 engine. I didn't know that.
Yes.
1955, Moto Guzzi introduced the Auto Cylindri V8. So
And that was in a bike?
Auto.
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
The first motorcycle powered by a V8 engine. It weighed just 45 kilos. What? Produced that was the engine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Produced a massive 58 kilowatts of power and could reach speeds up to 285 kilometers an hour in 1955.
Imagine holding on to that joke with a little piss pot on top of your head and a pair of goggles.
A leather one.
leather,
Yeah.
Leather piss
goggles.
pot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bumblebee mow you off it.
That is absolutely crazy. Corporate ownership since 2004, the brand has been a wholly owned subsidiary of the Piaggio Group,
Yeah.
which also oversees Aprilia and Vespa. So that's a big company
Yeah.
out there. That is a big company. And it goes on to say, rather than focus on sports bikes, the current lineup consists of adventure tours like the Moto Guzzi V85 TT and roadsters like the Moto Guzzi V7. But they do.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Guzzi-
yeah. They did do a lot of nice sports bike back in the early 2000s there as well. In fairness, you had one or two. In fairness, yeah, Ger.
Didn't we see someone for the expo that time?
I'd like an MV Augusta. I'd like to go on an MV Augusta.
Yeah. Like they're making bikes a long time. In fairness, and there's a huge following for them. In fairness,
There is.
like, you know,
It's one of those bikes that people will just
You buy into.
naturally, yeah, but people will naturally just go towards. You'll see
My
it
old
go
mate,
towards-
Ewan McGregor loves him, you know?
yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you. But I never trusted him since he
Sorry
went.
about Scotland, yeah.
I know. I never trusted him since he went in those electric Harleys.
Yeah, well, the two boys did.
Downhill,
Just
I
even
know.
Charlie.
Yeah,
The
it was-
electric Harleys.
Yeah, it was downhill after that.
And bringing the fucking Arctic load of fucking generators behind them.
Generators,
Yeah, to make sure they didn't run out of
Well, I
juice.
did see, and I think we did mention before, I did look at the last one they did where it was go the long way home,
Yeah.
where they go all around Europe on the old.
Yeah, one of them has a Harley or something, isn't it? Or one of them has a Beamer or something? Or was it?
Moto Guzzi.
Oh, it's the Moto Guzzi and a Beamer, is it? Or something like that?
And a Beamer,
Beamer,
yeah.
And which broke down?
Good. I don't think. With
There you go.
The Beamer, they broke down. Didn't the Moto Guzzi have to get the exhaust rewelded or something? Was it?
That's minor.
That's only mine.
You don't really need an exhaust.
Oh, especially back then, there was no emissions or fuck all. It was only
That just sounded better anyway.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Put a scaffold tube to it.
Marks out of 10 for the Moto Guzzi, Roscoe McQuaid.
6.
Oh, Go on, Mark.
I give it a good strong 8.5.
8.5. I'd be around the 7.5.
Yeah, no, I would rate it as a bike. If you want something different,
That's not bad for a bike that's 9-year-old, lads.
That's not bad.
absolutely, yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I like the colour of it. So, Jared, how do you feel? You feel happy? Will it be on the...
Well, I'd say he's happy with me and you.
Well, boys,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm old school.
I'm
Mark-
honest.
and-
I'm honest. That's the difference.
Yeah, but you're only
Will-
riding about 2 years in fairness.
Will there be another Moto Guzzi on Dundee tonight?
No.
No, come
Absolutely
on, Jared.
not.
No,
No.
I like to hear. Come on, Jared. No,
He's behind it, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, in fairness.
I think definitely there's some serious potential in it, and once you like it, and it's going
Well, it's to bring me to Italy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it will.
Bringing it home.
Can you go? Are you planning on doing the little factory tour, or what's?
There's a shout out to your, the listeners here, guys. There's 4 of us from the club heading off in September 4th. We're heading to the San Marino Grand Prix, and we've no plans for in between, just to get to the San Marino Grand Prix a week later, and in between needs to be filled. So any information, any good
Yeah.
roads,
Oh,
any
that's a
places
great
to
shout, yeah.
Yeah, contact. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
See, you need a Paul in your life.
Yeah.
You
Because
do.
Paul Higg organises all our trips.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that.
No, come on, Paul. Only
Paul,
fun.
you are the man.
Paul, we love.
Even though you sent some photographs of Coed
Yeah.
during the week, and I
Well,
got the
some of
blame
these-
for it,
yeah.
but it was nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was-
Can we talk about it or not?
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck. They're up there, like so.
So a photograph emerged.
In the group.
Do you want me to say this or no? No, I don't think we'll say it. So he basically, it was a photo emerged of him back in his days where he dressed up as a big Hardy biker.
Yeah.
This was before he had a bike or
Yeah.
anything.
Oh yeah, this is years before I had a bike.
But it was for a fancy dress.
And I won best dress.
Allegedly.
Yeah, one best dress.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, the trophy's in the fucking house. It's beside the
What he
coffin.
doesn't go on
He
to say
protests
is
a bit too much now.
he dressed like that every day after for at least
3 years.
Okay, I grew my hair
Yeah.
for that outfit.
Ah, okay.
And then that's how I ended up
But
with a stupid haircut.
but Ross,
What?
the big question is, who put the photograph in?
Yeah.
Well, there's one of the two of you.
No.
And the two of you are denying it that strongly. I don't know which one it is.
I'm telling you here now.
Wasn't me anyway.
Get a holy Bible, I'll put my hand on it.
Well, all I know is there's only, I think, 3 of you that are friends with me on Instagram.
I am telling you.
And-
There's a mole in the group.
And
There's a mole in the group.
One of those other 3 people that basically isn't you, I don't think they can use Instagram.
Can we put... No, we can't put the picture up. No, we can't.
Well, I'll be
I
honest
wouldn't
with
do
you.
that yet.
I genuinely think that this is a problem. I think there's a mole in the Spanish
think so,
group,
yeah.
and
I
I
think so.
think you're going to have to look into this.
You're
think
the
we're gonna have to
only
know
one on about them all. I think you're just trying to deflect.
Yeah,
Well, look, when the truth comes out, I will be getting my verbal and written apology.
you could be right there. You could be right.
you know?
Do we get a couple of questions in from a few listeners' questions in?
Well, we got one comment
Okay.
from a gentleman I believe you ran into
Yes. Correct. Correct.
the tracers.
Yes.
He said, and this is before the podcast.
This
came out,
was
actually.
before the podcast went
Oh,
live.
no.
Yeah, he
Here
went.
we
So,
go.
but the same comment I had about the tracer when I just didn't feel right sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as much as I wanted to like that bike because I thought I probably would end up buying it off you in 2 or 3 years. I just didn't feel right sitting on it, and
Okay.
it completely turned me off the bike. I will follow. I know what you're going to get at in a second. But another person came up to Brendan independently and said, "Do you know what? I jumped up in a tracer and I didn't feel right in them."
Yeah, his exact words was, before he heard on about the podcast, he said, "What are you riding yourself?" And he says, "I have a Tracer 9 GT." And he says, "Do you know," he says, "I was going to buy one of those." And he's actually subsequently after buying one, the new Suzuki GSX GS.
Great bike too.
Great bike
Fairness.
too. But he had done nothing. He heard all the good reviews about the Tracer and the whole lot, and went down to, I can't remember who had it. Some of the shops had it for sale. Threw his leg over it, got back off it, and the guy says, "I can pull it out the front if you want to bring it for spin." He says, "No,
Not for him.
no, not for me." He says, "That's a very weird sitting position."
Now, follow up to that. We were out in Brendan's shed.
Here we go.
Now-
do we have to talk about? Do we?
Oh,
not have
you
to
full,
bring
you
this
just said about my fucking Facebook or Instagram photos. So myself and Mark were around for, I don't know what we were doing anyway. Well, we were dropping them back after Kells. And Mark was looking at the seat and he was like,
Now, this is Brendan McGuire. McGuire's mechanic.
McGuire Mechanical. And
All right, okay.
Mark lifted up the seat and he started fiddling with it. And Brendan was like, "Oh, is that supposed to go
No,
there?"
what Brendan said was, no.
very rocky.
That doesn't go like that. No. I'm a mechanic. I know.
I never said any of
Right?
this at all.
So I says, look, Brendan,
bullshit.
just roll with it. Like, just trust me, just for a minute. And
Bullshit.
It
Basically,
worked.
what happened was the seat was a
It
bit
worked.
rocky, Mark, of course, because Mark's had them, has done loads with, and allegedly cleaned and detailed this bike, which he didn't. But he was like, no, you have to take that off and side the bag and put it there, and then it worked. So
I'll take it. That's a win for me, boys.
That's a win for you.
Not too often I get one up on.
And is that at the tall part or the lower?
It's the tall part, yeah. And it levels up the seat, like,
Yeah,
fairness.
but it's still now. I rode both of those bikes last night, and I still
Don't like them.
wouldn't be 100% on either.
Well, to be honest with you, Ross, they don't like you either, so.
No, exactly. Yeah, so they're not too.
I didn't even like my own bike last night, so don't feel bad.
Ger, over to you. You've had a bit of a trip. You were over in London for a couple of days. In London, mate.
London. My old manor. My old manor.
He's trying to get from London.
London's impressive. Huge city. I was over visiting two uncles of mine. They've been over there since they were 15 years of age. Wow. And they're in their 80s now, so my mother wanted to go over, so I headed over with them. And I had a great week. The weather was like this. Maybe not as hot, but by God, it was nice. And I did a few things, and one of the things was I brought my two uncles to the Ace Cafe, something I had on my bucket list. Yeah. Looking forward to it. So the Ace Cafe is in the North Circle Road in London, just a few, probably about 25, 30-minute walk from Wembley Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Is that, Ger, where the original Turn Up Club came from?
This is it, yeah. So this place was founded in 1938. It became a 24-hour cafe.
24-hour cafe.
24-hour cafe, the first, and that's where the bikers started coming in. This was only an ordinary car on the road, main road into London, back in them days, and bikers started turning up there. And unfortunately, a gentleman called Mr. Hitler blew the shit out of it in 1940, and when they were attacking,
somebody has to have a word with him.
He was a
Honest to God, he was too.
So in 1949, the building we have to this day, a really impressive looking building. If you're into architecture, it's really. It was built, and it was its heyday from 1949 when it was built until 1969. So in between that time, you had the rockers and the mods back in the days, you know. Coming towards 1969, it started to get a little bit hairy around there. A lot of antisocial behaviour, and it closed it. It went dead. And then all of a sudden, in 1994, one of the guys that used to hang around it decided we'll have a bit of a reunion there. 25 years gone out of business, and from there it's reopened again. Now I was there looking forward to it. As I said, one of the bucket lists. The building was beautiful. Unfortunately, here it goes. Staff were absolutely useless.
Right.
Yeah.
Food was shocking.
Go away.
Don't hold back, though.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
Tell the truth, yeah.
So
the truth.
disappointed them.
Really?
Really disappointed. But what brought it back was we did a visit then to the Royal Air Force Museum just down the road. Really good. Anybody over in London, go to it. You spend a day there, and it's for free in.
Yeah.
So that made up the day.
Yeah.
The next day, I was meeting another cousin of mine, and he's a biker. He has a GS, so don't hold that against him. He's a sound guy.
No one's perfect.
And we went to the famous Bike Shed Moto company, that is something else. Guys, that was a brainchild of a fella in 2011. He just got a group together, and it was a bit like bike meets. So it's the very first bike meets in London after all them years. And then he decided we'll open this place up. So in 2015, it opened up. So it was 12,000 square feet.
Wow.
Right,
is Charlie Borman involved in that?
Yeah, I think so. It is so cool. It's 3 arches under a railway bridge, I think. Has a restaurant in it with 160 seats. Whoa, and you ride your motorcycle down between the people in the chairs.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
you see it on YouTube a lot.
I've seen it on Instagram.
So cool. And into the arch, and it holds 60 bikes.
Holy
brilliant.
Shit.
It has a barber's shop in it. It has a very fancy pants.
Why am I getting excited about barber's shop? I don't know.
I didn't even take a funk on me now, to be honest with you.
I think it has a tattooed parlour as well. It has
that's
the
more like
coolest, type of leather settees all over the place. Really hip place. The food is outstanding.
Wow, great.
The female staff are also outstanding.
Down that sort of thing.
And to let everybody know, it's 384 Old Street, Central London. That's the address, guys, so I'll go there. Myself and my cousin were sitting up having a beautiful burger and a beer, and what goes past us, only 2 Panigales, and the rattle of the 2 Panigales, right, about 4 or 5 inches from us, just
Class.
really good.
Class. Ger was in his happy
Absolutely.
place.
Could you wander down to the car park where all the
You
bikes were?
could walk around. You could talk. You were chatting to bikers. This guy came up with the idea, and basically is anybody interested in two wheels goes there. Your patches doesn't mean anything. You go in there. There's no hassle, no nothing.
No problem.
No problem. You're a biker. You're into the bikes. Go in. If you're not into the bikes, you're into good food. Go in.
Yeah.
It's really
I think there's a
good.
closed section too. Isn't
There is a closed section. It's basically a proper shop. Have your wallet ready. It's expensive, but it's all Bell staff stuff. It's all
it's good
Bell
stuff.
gear.
It's worth it.
But your baseball hat, your saying the bike shed motor company, £30.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
but you're fucking.
but it is.
That's a once job,
It's
like,
a-
you know.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
just down the road from it, there was basically a Honda shop I went into.
Boo.
Oh, guys. one of the bikes I really liked, and a few of the guys were telling me about it, was the new CB 350.
Yeah.
Seen it?
Oh, cracking. Beautiful looking
Mate of
bike.
mine bought one.
It's the
£3,900.
yeah.
God's
It's
sake.
it's the scrambler looking kind of. Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, no, it's more. It's
old school.
It's
Old
more,
school.
Brendan, like a kind of the old school CB300s. Anyway,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a mate of mine bought one down in Mayo, and he's a big guy, but he's always had bikes. Like he's big into touring and whatever. But yeah, he's bought this now, and like he uses it. Like this is not a play tight to him. Like, and he absolutely loves it. And the best thing, they come in that primer grade that you love.
Yeah, it has that.
They do now.
Yeah, you may look it up, buddy.
I'm actually trying to look it up.
Yeah,
if I
just
can
type
get
in.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Right,
lovely
the
looking.
primer grey lad. Whoever designed that, that's a clever. That's a
And
clever.
absolutely
I know.
ideal in the city, guys, because especially London, this
Yeah.
20 mile an hour drive,
Yeah.
absolutely nuts in the
Yeah.
centre of it, you know.
Yeah.
all the average speed cameras, everywhere.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What do we call it again? A Honda
A Honda CB
350.
CB
350.
350. Let's have a look here, boys.
New model. It's only new model.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
It's
so
lovely.
far.
It's a lovely little retro bike now. In fairness,
It's kind of the
like it's a throwback to it's a throwback to the 80s, 70s, 80s, but with a modern, obviously.
It looks like a Triumph engine.
Yeah,
It does.
Yes,
It's
very much so.
single cylinder.
Yeah, but that's what it's at.
Wow.
Like that's what Honda are probably doing there. You know, it's
I like it.
it's the throwback to the older.
Oh, I
type
loved
bikes.
it now, and the money, you know, 3,000.
Like and even
Jeez, where would you
back
go with
home
that?
here, they're reasonable. Like very reasonable.
is-
Yeah.
Are they for sale now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is nice. Terence Healy, if you got one down there, we'll hang it up here in the shed. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell you, if Terence has one, I will take one for this. No problem.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful bike. Yeah.
They're a lovely bike. Yeah.
Did you do anything else motorcycling
Oh.
related?
Yes, I had to Google lots of bikes in the city, as you know, because it's the only way to get around, because it's a pain in the arse. People just sitting in traffic is just like, I didn't realize there was so many people in the world until I was on a double decker about to go over to London Bridge and look down. It was just like around lunchtime.
Yeah.
So coming out with them big high rise buildings, it was like ants all over the place.
Yeah.
It was just incredible.
I can't deal with shit
Oh,
like
it was
that,
tough going.
I don't mind
for me.
city breaks, but it's
No.
like it is a 2-day stop. I'm out.
I
I can't really handle it, to be honest with
I'm
you.
not a big city break
No,
person, man.
no.
To be honest
I'd
with you,
rather be out in the
bumping
middle of
people.
nowhere now, to be quite honest with you.
absolutely. Naked. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I did something nice. I had fish and chips and a beer on the Thames on a boat going up and down.
Oh, lovely.
That was nice,
Looking
yeah.
up at Big Ben or something.
Oh, the
Yeah,
whole lot,
yeah,
the eye, the whole lot.
yeah.
My God, that was lovely. Yeah,
It was,
that
enjoyed it.
cafe, the biker shed,
The bike shed
bike
motor
shed.
company.
motor company. I definitely love to check that.
Yeah,
out.
brilliant.
The videos look class.
Yeah, let us know if you've been over there.
Yeah, I think
Give us
Charlie
your thoughts
Borman
on
is
that.
heavily involved in that. Yeah,
Is he?
I think he's kind of has a. I don't know whether he's bought into it or whatever, but yeah, he does be there himself on a regular basis.
Good old Charlie Borman. I like Charlie.
Let's get around.
Speaking of Charlie Borman, and a lot of them are over at the ABR Festival, which
That's
is on
right.
this weekend. And I am. So Janet is going over with a couple of the girls, and a couple of them they were going over. We were talking. Her and Steve were down one night during the week. We're doing a job on Steve's bike, and she was talking about it. And I kind of, it's infectious. I really want to go to
It sounds cool.
It's but the amount of bikes, man, I met on the Friday morning. Who's that?
I'm showing the lads a picture of a mate of mine. He's gone there now at the minute. He's in England on his Triumph. He went over Paul Berry. A big shout out to him. And
God.
he's going to be sleeping in a tent tonight, and it's 37 degrees.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul. I'd say we're going to have to power wash you. Yeah. So yeah. He said it's absolutely
Wow.
it's
Oh,
bananas
it's
hot.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
he's
but-
definitely going out for
world
a
ending.
bus.
So
over
I'd
there
say Janet and all them are the same
Having
way.
a savage time. I tell you, it just. I was looking up some videos.
Well,
and
she's
stuff
staying in
of it earlier
she's
on.
got accommodation.
Yeah.
She's not.
But definitely,
saying
I think
tense.
we should put it on the calendar for next
Yes.
year. It just looks unbelievable.
But Brendan is
much does it
brilliant.
cost?
I don't know. I don't think it's that dear, like,
No.
but it's wherever it is. It's on an old estate house. And I think she was saying when they get off the ferry, it's like 3.5 hours of a ride.
Yeah.
But then I think they're not too far from, because they're planning on doing Clarkson's farm.
That's
or,
right,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
They're-
So
they're
she's
near
up
the
around
Cotswolds.
like Oxfordshire kind of.
Cotswolds over that neck of the woods, I think. But it's supposed to be absolutely phenomenal.
Fantastic,
Charlie Boorman's had.
Yeah, all them itchy boots will be there. I think
Itchy Boots is doing it, yeah.
there's a load of the worldwide travellers that we all look at on
You've been on about
YouTube.
Charlie Borman a lot in this episode.
No,
I just like Charlie Boorman. I think
I
he's
like Charlie
cool.
Boorman, yeah.
There's something about him.
Just saying, he's just featuring strongly in this.
well, look, Charlie, if you're out there and you're
Sorry,
listening, we'd love to have you
I'd
on.
love to have you on, Charlie. Come on.
Yeah,
come
we
on
can
on,
you can
fair play.
play a roster if you like.
Where did Charlie Boorman spend a lot of
Well,
his
you
life?
wished up
He spent enough of his life in Ireland down in
Wicklow,
Wicklow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct and right. Correct.
He used to
I
ride
think
around
his-
his motocross down there.
Yeah, I think his dad was living there.
Yeah,
Yeah, his dad was a movie.
John Bourne.
Yeah, he was a movie director.
movie director.
Deliverance.
There you go.
Deliverance
Sweet
is
like
right.
a pig,
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah. And then remember that one he had he had Charlie in it was like all these kids were on an island or some crack. What was that one? You're the movie buff.
Don't ask me. I wouldn't have a
That's a
clue.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have a clue. I watched movies up until
Excalibur.
the 20s.
He had his
That's
kids in Excalibur.
Excalibur. Yeah, I knew Jared get it, Les.
We'll have him on the podcast yet, boys. You have to.
Well, he may book in like everybody else.
Yeah, well, there'll be no special treatment here.
Oh yeah.
And that's the long and the short of it.
No.
Another couple of things we want to mention before we do wrap this up as well. Talking of bikes and Hondas, all joking aside, Terence Healy's Honda are doing some serious deals at the
Lads,
minute.
if you're interested in buying a new Honda,
Yeah.
now is the time.
Yeah, you want them 350s?
Yeah, oh well, look, I'm sure
do.
everything can be arranged to be gotten to you.
Arranged,
Yeah, there's
Some
a
fantastic bikes
there's
on
a
there at the
massive
minute.
discount on a lot of the Honda range at the moment, and you'd want to be very foolish if you're in the market to buy a new Honda.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
Now is the time, yeah, 100%, yeah. Jump on to Terence Healy's page here and you'll see on some of the stories, some of the deals that are going. But Jesus Christ, they're able to shave a few bob off us.
Yeah,
Now's the time to be getting it, you know. Lads, I think we'll wrap it up there for episode 94. I don't think we're forgetting anything, as Ross has a very worried look. on his
Yeah,
face.
I'm kind of looking at Ross having a worried look
Having a
myself.
look
Actually.
myself, but I think we're all right.
No,
And
I
if we
think
do,
that's it, yeah.
Well, we've mentioned everything, I think,
next
yeah.
I think we have,
yeah,
yeah.
We're taking a break next week, folks. We were going to give ourselves a little bit of a break. We've got a few bits and pieces on, so we're taking a little bit of a break next week, but we'll be back all going well the week after for episode 95 at that stage. And just a little bit of a thing I want to mention as well is keep an eye on the space that we are going to be doing another listener run. Kevin Key's fundraising run and a listener run. We're thinking it'll probably be around the first week of August. We're going to finalise all the dates in the coming weeks. So just keep an eye on that, and it'll be a great way. We'd love to meet you all in person and raise a few bob at the same time.
For the man.
Yeah.
For the main man himself. So keep an eye out. Jump on all our socials. As I say, Instagram is the Motorcycle Hour Podcast. Again, Clonagale Gale MCC official on Facebook, and we've got our the Motorcycle Hour Podcast on TikTok and all that. So jump over, give us a like and a follow. Something as simple as that makes a huge difference
Massive.
to us.
Yep.
And as well as ever, get any of your correspondence into us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Bren. Yeah, if anyone has any questions about stuff there, look, listen, we mightn't have the answers, but I suppose
Probably don't.
Well, we probably don't, and we'll probably give you bad advice.
Mr.
But look,
Google, like.
It'll be
listen,
advice.
it'll be advice.
You'll get your name right out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Gerald will be here, and it'll make way more sense.
And of course, look, I'm looking for advice on that trip to Europe. So, guys,
Yeah, absolutely, because
Reach out.
that would be very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reach out 110%. Folks, we'll wrap it up there. We hope we might see some of you down at the Green Knights or at Tandragee, and if not, we'll catch us back here for episode 95. Over and out.
Good luck.